Carson. Some of you know me as Dr. NetFlow here at Action Pack Networks. Today I'd like to show you some exciting new advanced features we have in our LiveAction software. For those of you who don't know, we are the first tool on the market that can combine quality of service configuration, monitoring, NetFlow, IP SLA, routing, and LAN functionality all in the one unique view. We also have some exciting features such as spanning tree and monitoring for Cisco Medianet and application visibility and control. So let's take a look at LiveAction and its features. As you notice, we've got two actual routers we're looking at in LiveAction, and the arrows actually represent the flow of traffic going through the network. If you see that if I put a highlight on any of the actual arrows, you can see the conversations and be able to identify the information inside of one. So let's say that if we wanted to analyze a problem such as voice over IP, I can easily come over and select the flow, and the flow will be highlighted through the network very easily, so we can actually trace the actual flow through the interfaces. So the smaller green circles being shown as interfaces all show in a green condition till we get to this part of the network, and notice this interface is indicated in amber, indicating a problem. We can very quickly click down on that interface, and then over in the bottom right corner, notice that voice over IP is shown in amber. We're now actually inside the actual policy that's on this interface, and I can show you the different classes and the policy that's applied. With voice over IP being shown in amber, that is LiveAction's way of showing that we're actually dropping traffic, and this is where the problem occurs. Now, you as a user already knew about this due to our alerting capability, and so the alerts that are being generated are being shown right now, and we can easily once again track that through once again SMTP, email, or syslog. With the voice over IP that we see now in this class dropping traffic, one of the unique things about the tool is my ability of being able to adjust the output QoS. So we'll select that and notice that I'm going inside the policy, and we can see the different class names, the queue settings, the reserve bandwidth, and other settings. So in this example at the bottom of the screen, 89% of the bandwidth is still available, so I'm going to come up to voice over IP on the reserve bandwidth, and we're going to change that bandwidth to 1024 and apply that change directly to the router without ever going command line. So we're removing the complexities that are behind command line and making it easy to take corrective action on the fly. Now that I've made that change to the router, we'll actually sit here and watch for the next SNMP polling cycle, and we'll see voice over IP go back to its normal state, and then once again a rise in data indicates that now we have corrected this problem. The nice thing is that we'll go back to the flow view and look at the flow view through the network, and notice all the interfaces are green now, indicating there's no congestion, physical layer problems, interface drops, or class drops are happening on any of the interfaces that are carrying the traffic through the network. But notice that as we look at the traffic, the arrows are all actually blue, indicating that they're marked for best effort, that a policy has not been applied to be able to do class marking. So in this case, let's select the router and go to QoS, and notice these are the policies that are tied on the interfaces, and we pick them up automatically. For me to deploy a policy is as simple as clicking on the input side, right mouse click, and go to QoS and create policy from template, and look at what LiveAction can do for you. Here we go to advanced templates, and here are our advanced templates based off Cisco best practices, from an 11 class model down to a 3 class model, including WAN templates now. So it's easy for you to select the template that you would like to roll out onto the network. But wait, what if you've got policies already on your network and you want to take advantage of those? Simply right mouse click and go over to apply policy to interface, and look what we do for you. We actually go out and query the router, select all the policies, and there they are, whether they're applied or not, and then we simply can scroll down, select the policy that I would like, select the interface, and then apply that policy very easily. As you notice, this policy is now applied, and I actually can verify that, if you can see, by going to VLAN 10 and simply going down to statistics and view interface details, and look at the complex policy at the bottom of the screen I deployed with a single mouse click. So we make it very easy to manage and control quality of service in the network. Once the policy's been applied, I can now copy this policy to multiple devices along with ACLs and make it easy to have a uniform policy management across your network very easily. Let's take a look at this router again, and let me show you that you never lose control of quality of service. Here we are actually inside the actual router, and here are the policies that we see. And notice the policies with check marks are the policies that are actually applied to these interfaces, and we can easily tell that. I'm going to take one of the policies that we just had applied, this set_set DSCP, and notice the class names here I'll select on the right hand side. You can actually see the match statements, and this is where we classify, mark, queue, police, shape, compress. Is all done right now in our graphical GUI menu. So as an example, I could edit and I could delete a match statement very simply, and I can preview the CLI to see what changes are being made and save it to the device, and I'm modifying that policy in real time without ever going command line. Let's go back to the policy and look and see, and let's add a match statement as an example. And so I'll select my match type, and notice I can do ACL, name, number, IP precedence, or protocol using NBAR. I'll select my protocol as CUC-me, select the match statement, preview the CLI again, and then save it to the device. And in the background, we're actually writing these changes out via CLI. So as you can see, modifying the policies are very, very easily done within the tool. Create a new policy, simply click the Add Policy button and give the policy a name, and then click OK. And now at the bottom of the screen, you can see I've got a new policy that's being created with a default class. I can right mouse click and add a class to policy, and look at what I do. I automatically pick up all the classes from the existing policies, so you don't have to keep recreating the wheel, and making it easy to configure quality of service on the network very, very simply as well. Also, in addition to that, what if I wanted to do some shaping? So I could come over on this link and turn on shaping as an example and select a rate here. And then notice what I'll do is take this set DSCP policy and drop it on top of the default policy and create a nested hierarchical policy. That easily can be done. And once again, preview the CLI so you can see what changes are being applied as we create this policy. So it's very easily now to create, edit, monitor, and deploy policies across the network using LiveAction as well. So if we go back to the policy that we've just put in place, let's go back into the home view and look from a flow perspective. We were seeing all the arrows shown as best effort. I'm going to click refresh, and look, now we're seeing arrows marked with colors indicating class markings now are being applied throughout the network. To give you an example, I've got a voice call here, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly filter down to this voice call. And as you can see, we can actually track one conversation through the network end to end through over 300 devices. So I actually can sit here and monitor and look and see on the left-hand side, this voice call starts out in DSCP 46EF, goes into the cloud as EF traffic, out of the cloud as EF traffic, and all the way to the endpoint is EF, making it very, very easily to monitor quality of service from an end-to-end perspective. As you can see in this little larger example of the network that I have actually 5 devices. We're actually capturing the flows going through the network. As you can see, I can change this from display filter colors, where we're showing the traffic by web, internet, network management, voice, and video, to where I can actually monitor by DSCP markings. And once again, we see these class markings going through the network. I once again can very easily click on the actual video stream, show only that flow, and then that flow will be brought out and analyzed very easily within the tool, and we can see that flow going through the network very, very easily. So once again, we make it an easy ability to be able to monitor and analyze the flows that are in the network right now. I'd like to show you some newer things that we've added in the later releases of the tool that you might find interesting. I'm going to come over and select my 2921 router, and as you can see, this is basic NetFlow that we've known and loved for years, and with the source, destination addresses, and port numbers. Within the Cisco iOS, there's now some new advanced features that are available that we take advantage of here at LiveAction. One of them, first of all, is Medianet. So if you're familiar with Cisco Medianet, you know it's a new initiative, and it has very great monitoring features and capabilities that come with the Medianet initiatives. One of them is PerfMon, performance monitoring, the ability of being able to monitor voice and video calls through the network and bring back measurements of performance. So as you can see, I've highlighted a particular actual flow here. I can actually arrow over to the right, and we can actually see the events of that actually occurring. So these events could be loss, jitter, or latency, can all be be easily measured now and shown with the tool. So we can actually see this packet loss that being occurred, and we can actually filter it, as you can see, on multiple levels. So I can go from device to device and actually look at these actual calls and find them and analyze them in real time as we're doing now. You can see once again media bit rate and jitter measurements for the first time are all being shown within LiveAction as well. So as an example, we can also troubleshoot the problem by using Medianet. So I actually can go to the home view, go to the table view, and go to Medianet, and let's sort on the SSRC numbers. And there's that one video call that I was speaking of. So we'll right mouse click and execute media trace, and we can actually have the routers troubleshoot the voice or video problem for us. So right now the routers are going to a special media trace mode where they will bring back specific information based off the video stream or voice call that's going through the network. They will go hop to hop to hop, and as you can see, this is a 3-hop call that we have here. And then I'll hit refresh, and we can now begin to see performance statistics. And as you can see right now, we're starting to see where the latency and loss is occurring, starting with the 1941 router and the 1811. So we do see losses occurring. We go back to the map, follow the arrow back through, and sure enough, notice it takes us back to an interface that is amber. Let's double click on that interface again and go to quality of service, in which we can actually see interactive video is dropping traffic in this class. It was that easy to be able to track down a video problem using Medianet and Media Trace that's embedded within LiveAction, and here are the drops that we're seeing occurring on this link. So this is an example of Medianet in action within LiveAction as well. Let's go back to the 2921 router again, and I'd like to show you something else that's exciting, and it's application visibility and control, yet another flow template. So this router is exporting multiple flow templates now: basic NetFlow, Medianet, and AVC, application visibility and control. And in these templates, as you can see, we get something very unique for the first time. It's response time measurements. So as you can see, here is application delay, here's client delay, server delay, is all being shown and measured for the first time. So it's very easy for me now to go to reports and go to AVC and run an application visibility report, and now I can see performance of my applications in the network. Notice here we are looking at the report. Here are the applications on the bottom left hand side. I'm going to pick one of the Citrix applications and view it over time and look at the detail that we can provide. Within the AVC report now, notice that client delay is amber and server delay is blue, and so we can actually see the network delay being shown very easily now, and for the first time without using probes or any additional equipment other than the router and switch in the network, we can bring back performance monitoring and measurements as well within LiveAction. I'd like to jump back to my other network for a second and show you that also, in addition from there, we also have the ability of supporting PFR now for the first time. And as you can notice, we can actually see the status messages at the top of the screen, and we actually are collecting this information that can be shown in reports. So here are some PFR status indicators that we see. And notice if I click on reports and go to PFR, we can actually run an out of policy event report and then be able to see those events, and each event can even be drilled down on as well. So our report for PFR is in the tool today and is growing with each release for PFR. As we go back to LiveAction again, I'd like to show you a few more nice features that are in the tool as well, and one of them is the routing functionality that's in the tool. So actually, as you're looking at this example, we can actually show the actual adjacencies and the routes between the devices that LiveAction is tracking. The green arrows indicate the adjacencies as normal, yellow is warning, and red is error, so we can see any problems that are occurring, such as route flapping or other issues that may be occurring on your network as well. We do this by actually having the routing table. So as you can see, I am parsing the routing table via command line to be able to have this route, to be able to draw this map automatically within LiveAction without any user needed. So as you can see, we do a great job of showing routing as well. And also we do a next hop feature, which is very unique, of where we actually using the routing tables, we can actually go through and map a path through the network very, very easily. So notice I'll put in my IP addresses and click Show Routes, and we'll actually can see the path go through the network end to end using the actual routing tables that are provided within LiveAction. Also, we check the adjacency tables in real time. So as you can see, I'm picking up the EIGRP adjacencies, the neighbor, the whole time. Uptime and other parameters are being shown as well within the tool. From the IP SLA perspective, we do a great job of monitoring, and the green arrows are really indicating the tests that are being run within LiveAction. As you can see, the green arrows indicate passing, red is fail, and yellow is caution. And we can actually highlight and see the results of the test, as well as I actually have a test status, so I can actually see the results of the test very, very easily, including jitter tests and reports can be run and drilled down on within LiveAction. What we do that is so unique in the tool is the ability of setting up a quick test, the ability for me to be able to select the router, select the test that I would like to run, the interface I would like to run on, and then for the destination, I simply take my cursor and put it on any of the green interfaces within LiveAction and click, and we put the destination address in automatically, click Save to Device, and notice we automatically start the test on both devices without any command line used. Also, at the bottom of the screen, we're actually showing you the new IP SLA VO video operation test. So we support the Medianet IP SLA VO test, and we manage it through our system test menu that gives you the ability of being able to generate video traffic and measure and establish baselines on your network very easily. So I can select the number of tests that I would like to run, the topology that we would like to set up, and in addition from there, then select the devices, and what we do is what you expect from us as well. We build the actual configurations that are pushed out to the routers that start the IP SLA test automatically, and then we simply just measure the results. The LAN tab is our newest tab that we've added to within LiveAction, and it's nice that I have the ability once again of looking at VLAN paths. So we'll go out and select a VLAN here, such as VLAN 1, and notice this is the path through the network and the interfaces that it traverses. The idea is to look for the amber interfaces. So let's scroll over and look at my backbone and follow the actual blue lines, and as you can see on the 2960 on port channel 4, it is amber, indicating a problem. So we'll double click on that interface and go to VLAN 1, and sure enough, if you look on the left hand side at the top of the screen, Fast Ethernet 01 or Gigabit Ethernet 01 and port channel 4 are both showing amber, which is giving an indication of problems that are occurring on these interfaces. So it's easy for us to track down VLAN problems and then be able to reflect those very easily within LiveAction and be able to pinpoint problems and take corrective action very quickly. So this is one of the newer features that we've established within the tool, and there are the input drops now showing as you can see, for which interfaces that are failing. I'm also going to show you for the 6509 that we also show us a little bit more in-depth information as well, such as trust as well as layer 2 QoS. So for the first time ever in a tool, we're now showing the queues by interface name, the threshold, the drop packet rate, the calls map values that are all being associated with these interfaces can now be shown. So this is something that I've never seen in any other tools that's exclusive within LiveAction, is being able to extract this information very, very easily. So what if I wanted to look at queue drops for my voice calls? So I could select my priority queues and select those, and as we can see, calls map 5 is the F46, and here's my drop rate, and we can see in packet per seconds as well as the interfaces, the trust factor, and the port type now once again for the priority queue stats as well. This is supported right now on 7600s, 6500s, 3750s, 3560s, 2960s, the Metro 2400s, and the 3400 devices as well. Let's go back to the home view again, because I've got some very interesting things to show you as well, as we're going to go over and look at another little network that I've got right now and show you something very exciting. For the first time, I'm going to select VLAN 10, and as you can see the paths of VLAN 10, but notice what I can do. I'm going to select spanning tree, and yep, that's right. For the first time ever, I'm now monitoring the spanning tree paths from within the network. The blue actual circle indicates the root bridge, and I'll highlight it, and now we can actually see which interfaces are being forwarded and which interfaces are being blocked. And we run reports against this as well that are being tabulated, so you can actually see when you have spanning tree faults happening in your network today. So hopefully some of the features that we've shown you today have been of interest, and if you do like what you see on the tool, you can simply go to our website at www.actionpack.com and download the free demo today. Thank you for your time.